You know what? You know what? You know what I'm gonna do, y'all? I'm gonna do a two-part show. We'll break it up in two parts. The first part is on Dave Blunt, right? Who people are saying took Big Mo's whole identity, right? And let me tell you what I believe took place, right? Dave Blunt heard Big Mo's song, might have seen the video, Purple Stuff, right? And he was like, okay, yeah, I'm big. He made it. Big Mo motivated Dave Blunt, so he wanted to get out there and carry on what Big Mo started, right? But somebody must have got in his ear and was like, don't give them Texas cats no props. You know what I mean? We'll bag you. Go out there and be the purple stuff and carry that whole purple and that Big Mo swag, right? But if anybody asks you where you get it from, say that you never heard of Big Mo, right? Meaning that he is saying that he was a kid and Big Mo was out, right? But what really took place was they felt like time had passed this way in Houston and nobody would ever catch on, right? And so then when people started catching on, he was like, well, maybe let me denounce it and say I didn't know or haven't even heard of Big Mo, just in case some monies would be tied to it, right? As far as infringement, copyright infringement, intellectual properties, and the whole nine, right? But one thing y'all got to realize is that Houston's culture, right, started out the mud. They wasn't giving artists out of Houston no love on radio. You know what I mean? That's why when I hear people say something about Rap a Lot, you know, I give Rap a Lot its props because the fight to get music on the radio when they were only basically playing artists out of New York back in the day, to Rap a Lot was like, look, we finna get out on the radio, whereas ain't nobody getting played down here, right? And so, you know, that opened the doors up for a lot of artists right here in the H. That's why they call Texas the Lone Star State, because people see Houston or Texas as its own planet. But we create our own culture, and you have to protect your culture. Bar, baby, right? Bar. That bar has two meanings, right? On the drink bottle, you will see bar on the bottle, right? But the other meaning of bar is an old H-Town saying where we say we bars none or we bar now down here in the H. So that's why I'm letting Dave Blunt know that this situation will be dove into, right? Meaning will be researched to see if what you're saying is true, right? But make no mistake about it, Houston, right? Whether it's the north side of Houston, south side of Houston, west side of Houston, east side of Houston, southwest Houston, A-Leaf, Spring Branch, Acres Home, Carverdale, wherever in the H, we bar none. That's why we go and do what we do. Or celebrities come to Houston and it's like they live coming down here because ain't nobody running up to them, oh man, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we all down here getting paper, right? And H-Town, remember, H-Town bars none. Now, the second part, right, I want to talk to you guys about is the proper study of history, right? No, let me rephrase that, right? Not the proper study of history, but what needs to be discussed and thoroughly dissected a part of black history. It's imperative, right? Now, we'll study Egypt, which is Upper Africa, but we'll study Egypt and we'll study the pyramids, right? But one study that we definitely need to get into is the study of the Moors. And I'm talking about the Moors and before Nigeria was called Nigeria. I'm talking about that part of North Africa, Morocco and Libya and Egypt and all up in there, but that part of North Africa, from the Moors leaving there, conquering Portugal and Spain, right, and bringing back some of because you got to remember, before the Moors conquered Portugal and Spain, the Visigoths was there. The Moors defeats the Visigoths and they got Portugal, they got Spain. But they were bringing the Portuguese and the Spaniards, the European Spaniards, back and forth to North Africa, right? Now, when the Moors got defeated, and Queen Elizabeth, King Ferdinand defeated the Moors and kicked them out of Spain, right? Where did the Moors go? Right, the Moors was was in the Philippines. They was in Mexico. They were in Africa. A bunch was in the Americas, right? So the Caribbeans, right? Because when they got defeated, they dispersed. They coming out of Lagos, Portugal, into Lagos, Nigeria. The Moors named that, right? We gotta dissect that study. Now the Inquisition, this the thing. The Inquisition, when they were torturing the Moors, black people, that's where the idea or what they did in the slavery in America, all they came out of the Inquisition in Spain, right? The hatred for black people. So when the Europeans was traveling and some was following, the more that they was dispersing to these different parts on the globe. As the Europeans hit North Africa, they started going deeper into Africa, finding these other tribes and conquering them, making them as slaves. Why? Because in the European eye, he didn't see the difference between the Moor and the regular black natives, or the regular Congos, or Congolese, or the Ghanaians, or Ghana, or he didn't the South African, the Zulus, to the European, a Moor with a Moor with a Moor with a Moor. We made the distinctions. I'm Dominican, I'm Haitian, I'm Panamanian, I'm what's my tribe over in Puerto Rico? I'm Taino. I'm this and that, but he didn't see no difference. I'm Aztec. I'm Olmec. I'm Cherokee. I'm Seminole. You know, I'm Lakota. It didn't matter. That's the problem. Now, there was a war between the native black mound builders that was already here in the Americas. That's why you got Memphis in America, and over in Tennessee, you got Memphis in Egypt. But they did go to war with the Siberians, the ones that look like Eskimos. They came down to this part of North America and went to war with the native mound builders, right? All up through the Mississippi, you know, all of that. Because the Mississippi was similar to the Nile, Mississippi River. So went to war. The original people who built the mounds lost their war, but they intermixed, you know, because over time becoming one family, right? That's why if you study history, you'll see some Cherokees speaking Arabic, right? Go study the history of Estevan, Mustafa, Zamora, Little Stephen, and New Mexico and Arizona, you know. So, but all of that, right? All of that happened because they got shipwrecked from okay, but like this. When the Moors was defeated in Spain, Some some was held captive as prisoners of war. Some were taken to slaves because the Moors was great navigators, and so in order to uh, escape prison time, a lot of these Moors became navigators for the Europeans who wanted to travel and do trade and set up trading posts and get away from Europe, because that's all they knew was Europe, right? They wanted to come to the Caribbean. They wanted to come to where the sun was, and fruits and sugars and spices and whatnot. The Moors knew the route. So some of the first introduction in America from Europeans came from the Moors bringing them to where the Moors had already traveled and set up relations and knew these people, knew these different tribes and people. We always like one family, right? So if you really want to study what took place and how to recapture or regain knowledge in your mind, study the history of the Inquisition, the popes that was during that time who gave the order to start taking native lands to force Christianity on the natives and why they did it, right? You got to study all of that. Then you understand what's going on and what's happening today at this time. Then you understand, okay, what needs to be done, right? So continue and research, because you had a lot of people, Deuce Muhammad, coming to the Americas, trying to teach or give the knowledge back to the original people, the Moors, the Muslim Moors. You got to study the Muslim Moors. Give them back that knowledge so they can take their rightful place, right? But it didn't catch hold. You had Noble Drew Ali with the Moorish Science Temple, right? Trying to give us back our mind, right? But Masfar Muhammad, who came with mathematics and science, right, and taught us, that gave us back our mind, because you build and you were created on math and science. And that was the difference. That he taught the nature, the core of the black man and woman and the universe, right? Which is the black man and the black woman. So that was the knowledge that was needed for today's time, right, to rebuild the black mind. Vropic Radio, we out.